In today's video, I'm going to give you some powerful things to think about as you set your New Year's resolutions for the upcoming year and set your intentions for 2020. So welcome. If we're just meeting, my name is Daniel Piatek. I help you live the life you're meant to live by getting your unique genius unlocked, unlimited, and unleashed. So welcome. So I'm coming to you today from the what in these parts ages ago they used to call the end of the earth. I'm out on the very tip of Wales in Pembrokeshire, back again at the Cathedral of St. David's, which I have come to actually just love. I did a video last week kind of exploring the inside of the cathedral, which is behind me there. But I came back here today because as I end 2019, as we end 2019, if you're like me, it's been a powerful year, probably one of the worst and one of the best years of my entire life. And I've been here for a little bit, so that's saying something. It's been a year of a lot being revealed and the opportunities to let a lot go. So as this year ends and we set ourselves up for the next not only year, but for the decade of the 2020s, I wanted to come today and talk about something that most of us would never even really think about as we're approaching something like setting resolutions, setting intentions, setting goals for ourselves, not only for the upcoming year, but for the upcoming decade. A powerful, powerful time. I would say the 2020s are probably, well, I would venture to say the 2020s are the reason why we decided to come to Earth at this time. So, as we set resolutions, intentions for the new year, what do we usually think about? We're usually looking at how life has been, the things that aren't going the way we want them to go, the things we'd like to change about ourselves to make better, etc. We're looking at where there's pain, where there's limitation, where there's frustration. That tends to be the most powerful place most of us look, because that's the most present in our experience. Is what gives us troubles all day long. It's where our attention tends to go, is the difficulty, especially in a year like this where there's been a lot of difficulty for a lot of people. And that's one powerful place to look, because the places that cause us discomfort in our lives are places that show us individually what doesn't fit, what doesn't resonate with who we are, what we believe, or what we want. They're very powerful places to look. So another place that we look is our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions. Also another very powerful place. Those are places that are pulling us forward into something new. It's the little spark of inspiration that lives within us. It's the things we see out in the world or in other people that we find call us and we want to pull ourselves to in our own lives. Both of them are very powerful, very important. And as we set ourselves up for this next decade, literally I'm going to invite you to think about not only this year, but this next decade. Because this next decade is likely to have more change than you and I have experienced in our entire lifetime. It's a decade of profound, profound change waiting for us. No matter who you talk to from different disciplines, whether it's people that look at this from a scientific, technological point of view, looking at the rate of change, looking at how technology is affecting our lives, looking at the past and how quickly things change, that this next decade is going to be a decade of profound change, literally more change than we've seen in our entire lives. If you look at it astrologically, we've already begun a time of major, major shifts of the fundamental structures that our society rests on falling apart, so that they can, in essence, be put together again in a way that serves how we want to be served, how we want humanity to be supported. So this is a decade of profound change. And I would say it's the decade that we came here for. It's the decade we came here to express our mastery, which lies in what I call our unique genius. That spark of spirit that we are, that we've taken up in this body to come to planet Earth to express at this time. It's our unique puzzle piece that we've brought to put together with all the other puzzle pieces out there to create the world that we want to create together. And this is the decade to do it, to show up, to embrace, to embody our own mastery. So now, this gets into what I wanted to talk about today specifically, which is when we look at setting intentions or setting goals and something like, the new year, the new decade, it's different than setting goals in our life for what we need to do this month, this week, this month, etc. It's a different kind of thing. It's more in the thing of not only what do we want to do, what do we want to have, but really who do we want to be as we move into this new time. And one thing I want to open up is a question for you, and kind of open this up a little bit so that as you go on to put together your thinking and maybe write stuff down, I would suggest you write some things down for yourself for this next decade. One piece of territory that we don't even think to go into. But if you think about what I was saying, it's like the way we tend to approach questions like this is, where is my pain? Where's the discomfort? What don't I like? What do I want to change? Or then conversely, what is it that I'm hoping for, that I'm dreaming, that I'm inspired for, that I'm moved to, that I feel called to? But the piece of that never gets, in essence, looked at or called into question or explored is, who do I think I am in the midst of all that? Who do I think I am? Now think about this for a second, because when we talk about the things we don't like, etc., or things we want, it's all predicated on these mostly unspoken, unconscious or semi-conscious ideas of who we are, what we're capable of, what we're not capable of, what we think a human being is capable of, what a human life is about, what's possible. There are so many things in that view that are already assumed, aren't questioned. Now, the reason why that this has come up for me this year especially is that I've had a year of, even after many, many years and most of my life of questioning and looking at these questions of who am I, who is a human being, what's a human being capable of, having a year of more profound questioning than I have ever had in my life. Deep, deep questioning about these fundamental beliefs, limitations that I have absorbed from culture, from the people in my life, from my upbringing. And for me, I've seen this as I've done healing, past lives, etc. So many unseen limitations on who I thought I was. And I've come to know myself to be way more than I ever imagined a human being could be in terms of inner potential, inner space, inner sense of no limitation. I feel like I'm living in a new world that I'm just beginning to explore. What is possible for me as the being that I am here, using this human body to express the mastery that I have developed over lifetimes. For you, you've chosen to be here at this time of profound, profound change on this planet, to bring to bear the mastery that you've been developing over lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And over those lifetimes and during this lifetime, have absorbed, mostly unconsciously, tremendous amounts of limitation. Tremendous amounts of limitation. But they don't have to win the day. So I'm going to keep this short, so I'm not going to go into this anymore at this point. I will be exploring this in other videos, I'm sure. But as you go into putting together your vision of who you want to be, of what you want to be expressing through your life, through this body that you're inhabiting, on this planet that we're all sharing together at this profound time, What is your intention? What's your vision going forward? For the capacities, for the expression that you're going to give birth to through your life. What do you want that to look like? Without any limitation. And this takes some work as you're thinking about it, because there's so much limitation built into the way we even explore a question like that. In your wildest imagination, possibility of imagination and dreams, what is the most outrageous expression of what you can possibly dare to even maybe imagine for you and your life, expressing through you, being given to the rest of us and the planet here over this next decade? So I invite you to play with that, to really allow yourself to play with it. So now, on a more concrete and practical note, I invite you to a workshop that I'm going to be leading. There'll be information in the wherever near this video of a more practical nature that also embraces this kind of thinking, this kind of expansive thinking about who you are in your life, but getting down more into the brass tacks of setting up goals and intentions for this next decade, and really, really, really completing and harvesting what there is to harvest from this past year and from this past decade. We're at a profound pivot point right now. So I invite you to check it out. Come join us. I'm going to be leading us all through a probably 2 to 2.5 hour workshop where we're going to be doing this work for ourselves as we come together online. And I lead us through practical planning and steps to let go of the old, bring in the new, and also some spiritual support to connect us to our spiritual support system, connect us to our own inner GPS, our own navigation system, so that we can begin moving forward, really working to release ourselves from the limitations that we live in all day long and we don't realize it. So I just send you so much love and blessings as we complete this decade. It's been one hell of a year, guys. And I just thank you very much for joining me on this journey. And I invite you again to like, subscribe, and share the video. And consider joining me on this workshop so that we can all support ourselves. I support you to really create this next decade as you living your mastery, giving it fully to this planet, having the life you came to live, expressing joy, abundance of your own beauty. The spark of the Creator that lives as you, expressing itself as unlimitedly as is possible. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. See you soon. Bye for now.